Hello, wine-drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and always happy to see our good friends from the Piedmont and Luca Corrado. Especially happy to see because Vietti is one of my favorite wines in the Piedmont. I know I say that about a lot of wines in the Piedmont. There's so many great producers here, though, and so many passionate people that just love what they do. I always say this is a lifestyle business, and for Luca, well, his family owns, of the 20 Grand Crus, they own vineyards in 15. Probably the largest holdings in what they consider Grand Cru. There's just Cru and Barolo. You know, it's not, but it's a gentleman's agreement of what the 20 top vineyard sites are in Barolo, Canubi, Ginestra. These guys all know which ones. These Brunate. These are the top vineyard sites. And Vietti, like I said, owns 15 of these pieces of dirt of the 20. And, I mean, they just make incredible wines. Even their entry-level Perbacco, a little surprise, a pleasant surprise, is, like I said, just it's all from Barolo Cru Vineyards. There's nothing like it in the Piedmont, and the best value. Every time Luca comes in, I tell him that, and I said, I want Magnums, and we still got Magnums of 10 and 11 here in the store, and 12 now available, a vertical selection of Perbacco. I guarantee you could keep this wine 10 years or longer, and for an entry-level Langhe Nebbiolo, it's unheard of. Anyways, we started out with the Roero Arneis, and these guys were the people that saved Arneis. You know, they started out as an experiment in 68 because Luca's father wanted to make a white wine. Many people feel that Arneis is the genetic mutation of Nebbiolo, so it's a white Nebbiolo. And these guys actually get a little skin contact with this, so they make a serious style Arneis. And as of 1968, they began the craze, and now there's 13 million bottles in the Piedmont, all from the genetic material from Vietti's original vineyard that they planted. All right, this one's very fresh. Lovely apples, pears, white flowers, a little bitter almond on the finish, and a nice almost spritz, almost effervescence here at the end. A little bit of tannin in this wine as well. For $26, the quintessential example of what this white varietal is from the Piedmont. The Barbera, Vigna, Vecchia, Scarrone. This vineyard is over 100 years old. They make this wine from, and they'll make a tiny amount of most of these wines that they produce. I mean, let me tell you, the concentration and richness in this Barbera is almost unheard of for Barbera. It is so dark and rich. Only 3,400 bottles produced a year. Very plush and velvety on the palate. One of the things we love about Barbera, it has a similar plush texture to Merlot, and also a wonderful firm hand of acidity like Merlot. The reason why you can age this wine. A lovely finish with forest floor and flowers. Most excellent juice. The Nebbiolo Perbacco 2013. And, you know, they've had these art labels since the 1970s. Luca's father had a passion for art, and, you know, they were really avant-garde at that time. Today, a lot of people do art labels. And this 2013 vintage, another excellent vintage. It's amazing. You know, they've had some very Burgundian vintages like 08, 2010, and 2012, and then more robust years like 13, 9, and 11, and then warmer years like 7 and 2003. But all these very good vintages. This Perbacco, like I said, a blend of all Cru Barolo vineyards, just amazing. Of the 152 Liudis named vineyards, there's 20 Grand Crus, 40 Premier Crus, and like I said, this is a gentleman's agreement, but this wine all from Cru Barolo vineyards, and a wonderful richness to this wine, like a baby Barolo, that lovely red cherry fruit, truffle-like earthy notes, pretty floral notes, spice, and just a long finish. You could age this Perbacco easily for 10 years. The Vietti Barolo Castigione, and this wine, just beautiful, again in 2011, maybe even better than the 10, and like I said, this routinely scores as high as some of their Cru Barolos that they make, so I wouldn't call this entry level by any means. And they make this wine first, so the best of all the Crus they put together, and that's what they make Castigione out. Just incredible quality. For this price, in the $50 price range, there is nothing like it in the Piedmont. This wine has got wonderful structure, thick, rich fruit on the palate, roses, truffles, lovely spice here, and just most excellent juice. I can't stress enough what a killer value the Castigione is from Vietti. The Barbaresco Masseria, maybe the smallest production, only 4,000 bottles, well, similar to the Scarrone Vecchia beans. This wine sees 5 weeks of maceration, so very long, and it is a Barolo, Barbaresco for Barolo drinkers, a very big Barbaresco, good hand of fresh earth here. This 2009, starting to see a little development in the bottle. profile. Red berry fruit, dried floral notes, herbs. Very elegant and silky on the tongue, forward and delicious. A lot of fruit here, a lot of tannins, wonderful structure. This wine needs another decade in your cellar, and a long finish. Most excellent juice. They call it Barbarolo. All right, that's what we had to drink with our good friend Luca from Vietti. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.